Hi, I'm Chris with Sanderson Test Prep, and today I want to cover 3 more advanced tips for the grammar portions of ACT and SAT. So we're going to go a little bit beyond your actual grammar rules today, and we're going to talk a little bit more about your approach to the section in the test and go over a few testing tricks that you can use in those sections. So let's get to it. All right, tip number 1, being is a bad word. So what do we mean by a bad word? Well, on ACT and SAT, they prefer to put things in active voice, and being is not an active verb form. It's a passive form, and so that's why you can eliminate answer choices that have the word being anywhere in them in the grammar portion of both of those tests. So if I'm looking through a question and I see my 4 answer choices and I notice that answer choice A and answer choice C, just as an example, happen to have the word being in them, I can very comfortably eliminate those 2, save the time on evaluating those 2 choices, and move on to answer between answer choices B and D on a question like this. So if you ever see the word being on SAT or ACT, go ahead and eliminate that option and save yourself some time. Let's get into tip number 2. Okay, for tip 2, nouns are greater than pronouns. So if any of my tutoring students happen to be watching, I'm sure that you've seen this before because it's something that I emphasize a lot, but it's a really great way to help pick a correct answer, not just eliminate a few, but actually get the question right in a very small amount of time, even without having to look at the surrounding context of the underlined portion. So if you're ever given answer choice options where you have 3 of the choices that have pronouns and 1 of the choices that has an actual noun, the specific noun, we are going to pick the answer choice option with the specific noun. And the nice part about this is that's going to be the case every single time. And there are very few things on your ACT or SAT where you can take the always approach. Usually it's going to be a it depends type of scenario, but this is an always scenario. And if you see a noun instead of a pronoun, pick it, because the error that they are correcting for is something that we refer to as ambiguity. Ambiguous means vague, and a pronoun can be vague if it doesn't have a noun as an antecedent that it's referring back to. So we don't have to worry about the grammar of that, but from a test-taking approach, make sure if you ever see pronoun, 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 and a noun as the only answer choice with the noun in that underlined portion, pick the noun over the pronoun every single time. Let's jump into tip number 3. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at tip number 3. Semicolons are equal to periods, and what that means is that grammatically speaking, they serve the same function. A period, as we know, separates 2 individual sentences, and a semicolon separates what we refer to as independent clauses. And independent clauses are exactly that. They are independent, meaning that they can stand alone as a complete thought, meaning it's a sentence on its own. So a semicolon and a period grammatically will perform the same exact function. And one nice thing, I always like to try to highlight the nice things if we can. So one nice thing that SAT and ACT both do for us is they'll never ask you, the test taker, to differentiate between a period or a semicolon, since they are grammatically equivalent. There are situations stylistically where you might want to use one over the other, but grammatically, because they perform the same function, if you ever see a period and a semicolon in your answer choices in exactly the same place, and the rest of the answer choice is the same, so the rest of that underlined portion is the same other than the punctuation, if you have a period and a semicolon in the same place, just like we do here, we can automatically eliminate those 2 choices without having to really evaluate those or spend much time on those. And again, even though it's only eliminating 2 choices, you'd still have to evaluate answer choice A and C on this question, but you're able to answer this question in half the amount of time by recognizing the period and the semicolon in the same place and understanding that grammatically they are equal and therefore they can't both be right. So for our purposes, they're both wrong and we can eliminate both of them. Hopefully these 3 tips will help you out on the grammar portions of your upcoming standardized test. If you'd like more tips, please feel free to like and subscribe at the links below. Thanks.